By now, you probably heard that you can improve fertility with carnivore diet, and in some cases, women are able to reverse infertility altogether and get pregnant naturally. And I'm speaking from my own experience because I was on a low-carb ketogenic diet for a while, and it took me about a year to get pregnant with my first son, and I was then in my mid-30s. And about 2 months when I was 2 years into carnivore diet, and I was then 41, and my pregnancy was super easy, so was delivery. But if you are younger, let's say somewhere in the late teens and 20s, I want to dedicate this video specifically to you because there are so many things that you can do, I'm about to share in this video, that you don't have to worry about your fertility well into your late 40s. So young ladies, listen up. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sylvia and I'm a carnivore diet coach. Okay, let's start with the diet because I'm a diet coach after all. Let's talk about proteins. Prioritize high quality proteins from animal sources, and by that I mean your ribeyes, your New York strip steaks, your lamb, pork chops, and you will also do well with eggs, good quality cheeses, sometimes some chicken and some fish. Forget about all other proteins such as nuts, seeds, plant proteins, pea protein, soy protein. This is nowhere near as good as the high quality proteins from animal sources that will help you to be fertile and retain fertility for many years to come. Oh, and by the way, you don't have to be strict carnivore to have a good diet that is conducive to fertility. What I'm saying is, eat diet that is consistent with our ancestral past, and that means lots of animals food with emphasis on red meat. Especially if you are in your late teens, add lots of bone broth to your diet. In fact, if you're drinking tea and coffee and you want a warm drink in the morning during winter, bone broth is the way to go. It is rich in many minerals and collagen, and if your body is growing and developing, you will need every bit of collagen that you can get. And if you do it early enough, if you have high protein animal based diet, you can even avoid things like nasty cellulite, and your fertility will also thank you. Also, don't forget that when your diet is saturated with high quality proteins and collagen, your skin will look youthful and young for many years. Your hair will be nice, thick and shiny, and your mood will be happy, even and sustained. So really prioritize high quality animal proteins and collagen in your diet for many reasons, fertility and everything else. Don't do any calorie counting diets or calorie restrictive diets, even if you are concerned about your weight. Instead, focus on high quality animal proteins with saturated fats and reduce your carbohydrates to about 10% of your daily calorie intake. Stay away from highly refined carbohydrates mixed with seed oils, aka the heart healthy vegetable oils. Try low carbohydrates, animal focused diet, and you will see your weight will normalize without your hormonal balance being affected. Let's talk about your coffee consumption, and I do realize it will be a difficult one to convince you of, but don't overdo with coffee. I know how this works, especially if you have to cram for your exam, or you have exam and the next day you go to work, or maybe you have to come to work early after a night of partying. Coffee, energy drinks seems to be a natural way to go, but don't overdo it. If you do this type of things throughout your 20s and 30s and then you decide to get pregnant and things are not working out, try quitting caffeine and coffee and then see what happens. There is a data out there suggesting that excessive consumption of caffeine for extended period of time can negatively impact your fertility. And let me tell you this, it is a lot easier to quit coffee in your 20s than it is in your 40s. Just imagine 20 years of the same habit, drinking addictive substance first thing in the morning. It is difficult and it is painful. And a lot of people have to do it later in life due to the problems with health and oftentimes fertility. So if you can do it in your 20s, do it in your 20s. You will be a lot better for it. And I'm not saying don't come close to coffee ever again. Just do it sporadically when you really, really need it. Otherwise, if you really like to drink something warm first thing in the morning, bone broths are a great option. Or you can get other coffee substitutes that don't have the same toxic profile as coffee does. I will link them in the description box. I have a list of things that I've tried, and if you are at carnivore, they are a good substitute for caffeine. Now, if you are on the carnivore diet, I also have a whole video dedicated just to coffee substitutes for carnivores. I will link it in the description box. Check it out. Another hard one to sell to young people is sleep. We really don't care about sleep when we are young. We feel invincible and we can always make up later. After partying season, after spring break, after I get that promotion, unfortunately there's no such thing as making up of sleep. Once your sleep is lost, and you will pay back with interest later on in life. You need a regular sleep schedule for your hormonal system to function properly and optimally, and that means your fertility as well. So especially in your teens and early 20s, invest in good quality sleep, create a good environment for sleep, and really focus on it. There's no making up for it later in life. Let's talk about alcohol, because this is a difficult one for young people as well. There's no healthy amount of alcohol. And I know what you are thinking, but what about the French paradox? They're all drinking red wine in large quantities and look young. Yeah, but this is really out of context. There's so many different things that come into play into the French lifestyle and their diet, and it's really not about amount of alcohol that they're drinking. And if you really care about resveratrol, that is the antioxidant present in red wine, you can get it from other sources, and it doesn't have to come with an alcoholic beverage. And whether we like it or not, women are a lot more negatively affected by consumption of alcohol than men are. So the best bet for you is avoid alcohol as much as you can. And if you really want to drink it as a toast for your birthday and for New Year's, but don't do it regularly. Don't get drunk. Don't do happy hours a few times a week. It's not gonna serve you well, especially your fertility. I can give you countless examples of my friends who quit alcohol for a year and were able to get pregnant. So keep that in mind. If you care about maintaining your fertility, limiting of alcohol is a must. Let's talk about exercise, because too much of it can negatively impact your fertility as well. And I hope I am not misunderstood here. I mean, do exercise, stay active and be fit, but don't overdo it. Don't lose so much weight and gain so much muscle that your fat ratio is in single digits, because you will produce too many androgenic hormones, and they can throw off this very delicate feminine hormones balance and affect your fertility. And things like PCOS with women that exercise a lot, over-exercise, is a very common thing. So keep that in mind. And if you really have to be ripped, get children out of the way first and then have at it. And last but not least, let's talk about women's life choices. Because for women it's a lot more challenging, and they have to have it all sorted out by the age of 30 if they want to have children. So if you're at the crossroad where you are deciding, I really want to pursue a career, or I must work, but I also want to have children. And if you decide that you will not be as happy in life if you have career but not children, definitely have children first and then pursue your job, your career. Simply put, you can start a new job, new career at 55, 65, but it's not very likely that you'll have children at that age. And yes, I know there are many stories of women getting pregnant in their mid-40s, sometimes late 40s, even at 50. But usually there is a lot of fertility treatments hiding behind those stories with a lot of money spent. And at that age, it is not guaranteed. So it comes with a lot of stress, because if you are going through those fertility treatments, maybe it will work out, maybe it won't. So if you can have children earlier in life, a lot better off to have them earlier in life. Even if you need fertility treatment, you have just more time for this fertility treatment to be successful. One other thing, think about your parents. They will enjoy being grandparents a lot more at the age of 60 than, let's say, 75. Alright, so this will do it for this week's video. Most of my audience is age 35 and above, so if you know of any young women that will find this information useful, send this video to them. In the meantime, if you haven't yet, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you like to be coached by me to carnivore diet, the links are in the description box.